Tess Ingram from Amman. She's a UNICEF spokesperson. She's just got back from Gaza, and some of the quotes we just heard there are directly from a speech that she gave in Geneva. Tess, thank you so much for coming on the programme. We're really grateful to speak to you there. In your speech, you also told a couple of personal stories from people that you met while you were in Gaza. I was wondering if you could just tell us about them and about some of the things that people you met are experiencing.
Yeah, the stories are truly horrific, and these are just, three women that I met, and I think that their stories represent thousands of experiences across the Gaza Strip at the moment. I can tell you about Iman, who was 8 months pregnant in Gaza City when it was under attack, and she told me that she ran terrified through the streets seeking safety. I can only imagine how scary that would be for somebody who's 8 months pregnant. And now, when I met her at Emirati Hospital just a few days ago, she was 46 days post cesarean and had a serious infection that was requiring treatment. She said that she was too weak to hold her newborn baby. I also met a woman called Mashea who, when her house was hit in the middle area, her husband was buried underneath the rubble for days. And she said those days were just complete torture. And the baby, she stopped feeling it move inside her. With the current state of care for pregnant women, she wasn't able to get a scan, but she said that she now is sure, more than a month later, that that baby is dead. She's still waiting for medical care. And she told me that, despite how terrible all of this is, she was sure that, it was the best thing, because bringing a baby into the world at the moment in Gaza is, her words, a nightmare.
Gosh, really, really heartbreaking stories. Thank you for sharing. As we know, hunger and starvation sadly tend to affect children and babies even more than they do adults. And I'm sorry to ask such a dreadful question, but how soon or how far away are we from seeing large numbers of children in Gaza dying from malnutrition, dehydration, and starvation?
It's a very serious and important question. I think that based on what I saw there last week, all of the families that I spoke to are not getting enough food, and the mothers are particularly worried about the nutritional needs of their children. Most are able to get their hands on bread or tinned food, and they know that children need 8 different food groups to grow and develop properly. So only getting 1 or 2 leaves children really exposed to malnutrition. And this is in the south of the Gaza Strip, and we know that in the north, aid, particularly food aid, has barely been getting up. So we're very concerned about the situation for nutrition for children, particularly in the north. And as you said at the beginning of your report, we've warned that we're especially concerned about the situation for 135,000 children under 2 because of their specific nutrition needs.
Tess Ingram from UNICEF, thank you so much for joining us today. Very grateful.